Monday, January 22nd. On this day, the first country to report its important statistics will be Hong Kong. At 10:30 a.m. GMT+2, it will reveal its Consumer Price Index. This is the percentage change in the prices of goods and services from the consumer's perspective in the reporting month compared to the same month last year. It is considered one of the indicators of consumer sentiment and inflation in the country. A rise in the index may have a positive impact on the Hong Kong dollar. By 11 p.m., South Korea will inform us about a similar indicator. This index is considered the leading indicator of consumer price inflation. Its higher than expected value may indicate the strengthening of the South Korean won. A reading below expectations indicates a negative, bearish market for the national currency. Tuesday, January 23rd. On Tuesday, the first statistics will be announced by Japan. At 4:30 a.m., this state will unveil the central bank's interest rate decision. When the economy is unfavorable, interest rates are reduced, and when conditions are favorable, they are increased. A few years ago, the bank set a negative rate. Because of the long-term recession, Japan still supports monetary easing. At 3:30 p.m., Canada will report the new housing price index. The index reflects the change in contractor prices for new homes for sale. In the reporting month compared to the previous month, it covers single-family homes and townhouses. An increase in the index indicates an increase in activity in the real estate market. This may have a positive impact on the Canadian dollar. Wednesday, January 24th. At 4:45 p.m., financial players will be able to familiarize themselves with the Bank of Canada's interest rate decision. This is the main instrument of inflation regulation, which is implemented by the central bank of this state. It is made 8 times a year and is one of the main events affecting the Canadian dollar. If the rate increases, it favorably affects the value of the national currency. At 5:30 p.m., the United States will report the crude oil stock exchange. This is an indicator included in the weekly report of the Energy Information Administration of the U.S. Department of Energy. The growth of the indicator indicates either a decrease in demand for raw materials or an increase in production. This negatively affects global oil quotations, but the change in prices is short-lived. Thursday, January 25th. By 1 a.m. Thursday, gross domestic product will be reported by South Korea. The indicator reflects the value of all goods and services produced in the country in the reporting quarter compared to the previous quarter. The calculation takes into account private consumption, government spending, the expenditures of all enterprises, and the net exports of the country. GDP growth may have a positive impact on the South Korean won. Already at 3:15 p.m., the European Central Bank's interest rate decision will be revealed. It is made by the board of the regulator every 6 weeks at the meeting on monetary policy and is announced immediately after the meeting. This is one of the most important macroeconomic events in the Eurozone, which can affect the single currency. Friday, January 26th. By the end of the week, financial players will be able to familiarize themselves with the GfK UK Consumer Confidence Index. The index will be updated at 2 a.m. It is a leading indicator of consumer confidence in the economic development of the state. Its value being higher than expected can be considered favorable for the pound exchange rate, and vice versa. Friday, January 26th. By the end of the week. Finally, at 5 p.m., there will be information on the U.S. pending home sales. The National Association of Realtors of the United States releases this report, which, in its detailed version, includes data both in absolute numbers of sold housing units and in monetary terms. With its help, you can predict the value of another important indicator, sales in the secondary housing market. The growth of the indicator may have a positive impact on the U.S. dollar.